Welcome back to Conversations with Port Bank, and I am your host, Akira Patterson. If you are not new to this podcast, then you know that we are all about arming you with the information you need to make sound financial decisions, whether it's based on your personal life or your business decisions. If this is the first time that you're joining us, then feel free to check out our previous episodes and of course give us your feedback because it's conversational, not just with our guests, but with you as well. So send us your feedback via our official email address, which is feedback@grenadacorpbank.com. I am so excited about this episode because it's actually part 3 in a series of conversations that helps you to own a piece of Grenada. Very excited about it because you have your land, you're thinking about building your dream home, but today we are going to tell you how to make that dream home or even renovate the home that you currently live in to be more climate resilient and sustainable. Today, we have 2 experts in various fields that will assist us with giving you all of the information that you need to make these sound decisions when it comes to having a climate smart home or a smart and savvy, climate savvy home. So today we have with us Jiminy Scott, Technical Advisor, GIZ, and you are specifically for climate mainstreaming and renewable energy. Welcome, Jiminy. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you so much. And then we also have with us Mr. Gary Sayers, and he is Executive Manager in Sales and Service at Co-op Bank. Welcome, Gary.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it really is a pleasure having you both here on various sides of the spectrum. Of course, the finance aspect of it, and of course, what we need to think about in terms of having a tech savvy, because I'm thinking tech when I'm also thinking of climate resilience, a financially sound, because you'll have to make certain investments when it comes to ensuring that your home is climate resilient, that dream home that will last for a very long time. So we know that it's not an option anymore, Jiminy, in terms of having a home and having appliances that are climate resilient and climate smart, because we see the effects of climate change happening day in and day out. So what would your advice be from jump for someone, let's say they're constructing their home from scratch and they're thinking about making their home more climate smart to be resilient for the future?
Well, first off, I would say, climate change is here. We are seeing and feeling the effects of it. A good example is that, global temperatures are rising, and we're seeing cooling in particular moving from being what we once thought was a luxury to now being a necessity to beat that heat.
Yeah.
But on the other end, we're seeing innovations like in the water sector, where we are now having water efficient devices. These devices have an aerator in them. So you have your water pressure being the same or increased without using more water. So we're seeing some advancements that people can actually implement in their homes right away. So whether it's storage for rainwater when there's a drought, or whether you're hot at night and you need cooling, we have natural refrigerant, AC units, and so forth for that. So the technology is here. We just need to uptake it more or less.
I know sometimes a great concern for people when it comes to investing in appliances or even various forms of renewable energy is always the cost. What is the investment cost going to look at the beginning? And is this going to, level off in terms of the investment that you would have made upfront? So in terms of that apprehension that people would have when it comes to that investment, what would be your advice?
I would say, of course, it's an investment, so you have to be smart with it. People might think, climate smart is a luxury, but that's a luxury we all can afford because when you look to buy these devices or invest in storage or even solar PV, you see that the upfront cost tends to be a bit more expensive.
Right.
But when you think about the savings you will get over the lifespan of that device, over that appliance, it's much more economical and
Right.
sustainable for you. Because let's say you buy that cheaper option, right? you buy that. You have one saving based off of when you buy it. But when you invest in that efficient device, whether it's a refrigerator or a toilet or a faucet or a shower that's efficient, you get savings because your bill is reduced. That electricity bill is reduced.
Right.
That water bill is reduced. You get that for the lifespan of that
Right.
device, not just a one off. So you have multiple opportunities to keep saving.
Because I'm thinking to myself, if you have a climate smart AC, for lack of a better way to term it, and when you come into the house, or let's say you're trying to maintain a specific type of temperature, and it would be on save mode depending on what, then you would see the results on the back end in your electricity savings. And likewise with the water for, different smart appliances that have to, would do with plumbing and water as well. So even if, as you said, it may be an investment on the front end, over time you see and realize those long-term savings.
Yeah.
And just before I throw it over to Gary to see how we will afford all of this, because that's very important before we see how we will afford all of this, the shelf life or the lifespan of climate efficient appliances, just to debunk any myths. If people think, well, probably if it's climate smart, it won't be durable, or maybe you have to change, or there's a lot more maintenance that's associated with it. Is that your experience?
I would say that because it's new and emerging technology, you tend to have it be stronger in some cases. So when it comes to maintenance, even if it's not climate smart, you still have to maintain it because
Right.
that determines how long and efficient it lasts. The myth about it not being as strong, at least they will be on the same level in terms of strength and material. So you don't have to worry about that.
Right.
You just have to worry about your impact on climate change because
Right.
most of these devices allow you to do the same thing, just more sustainable. Yeah,
And that's the goal.
exactly.
That is the goal. Yeah. And with anything, once you invest in something, once you purchase something, you have to maintain it.
Yeah,
So it just comes with the territory of owning something.
precisely.
Definitely. So Gary, over to you now, because we're talking about the money and how we will be able to afford, having a climate resilient home, or if not just necessarily building a home from scratch and wanting to make certain investment in renewable energy, but also if you're already in your dream home and you're thinking of ways of retrofitting it so that it becomes more climate savvy and more climate resilient. How does Co-op Bank in particular assist customers that are thinking about either retrofitting or building from jump with climate in, being climate resilient in mind?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So the bank has offerings that can be used to assist customers in obtaining the products necessary for climate resilient or climate smart products. Or it doesn't have to be appliances, of course. It can also be anything that can protect your home. So whether it's hurricane shutters,
Right.
drainage around the homes, or retaining walls, the bank offers financing for all of these. Now, in terms of the size of the loan, doesn't matter. We provide financing. Doesn't matter what size, what amount is required. Once it is used for that purpose, we are pleased to offer it. Of course, to incentivize customers, we offer reduced loan fees, meaning that
Right.
you know that every loan customer request, there is a fee attached to it. So the bank has, or we will continue to provide reduced loan fees on those loans. Of course, that is a good break from the ordinary loans.
Right.
We are also partnered with some of our customers who are service providers or providing products to um, the general public. So we ask for reduced cost on those.
Okay.
Right. We also have a point system, current of a point system, whereby customers who access loans can get reduction in interest rate based on the type of appliance and the cost of appliance
Beautiful.
that they purchase.
Yeah.
So this is, these are the type of things that we use to incentivize our customers to make building or retrofit, whatever the case may be, more affordable.
Yeah, and I really like the part where it takes into consideration collaboration with different service providers to ensure that where you get your appliances, once they are, climate focused, and I don't know if I should, it's not necessarily like a climate focus, but it would be more of a climate smart type of appliance, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically. Yeah,
climate
climate
smart.
smart.
Yeah, climate smart appliance to be able to afford that by having these conversations because it's different stakeholders that come together and help people in terms of the home owning process and the retrofitting process and being able to have the appliances that you need. So these are very good innovative steps and I'm sure that, people hearing it for the first time would also want additional information on it. So feel free to send us your feedback at grenadacorpbank.com. But let's speak a little bit more in terms of what are the various steps that people have to take to qualify for a climate smart loan, or if you are looking to invest in making your home more climate savvy. Is the process the same? Is the qualification, the process of being qualified the same?
Of course, the process is the same. All of our customers are risk rated based on our risk rating tool. But of course, what we do is that we offer incentives for customers who are purchasing for climate resilience purposes. But the process is more or less the same.
Okay.
But I must add that people who already have homes, there are various ways we can assist them, even if they don't qualify by themselves, but qualify for a separate or a second loan. We can restructure the facility and add that amount to a consolidation
Right.
or refinancing and obtain those, and those products can be obtained using that new finance.
Oh, beautiful.
It doesn't have to be a entirely new facility.
Okay. So in that way, you work hand in hand with customers based on what they want, and then you see how you can restructure the financing to be able to accommodate that.
Of course, yes. Once the customer comes, we assess the customer situation and we offer based on what the customer can afford. But our main role is to ensure the customer gets what he or she wants.
Okay. Okay. So, Jiminy, when it comes to like practical tips for homeowners who already have a home, let's say you're not building from scratch, let's say you probably can't afford to do a retrofitting right now, but you're thinking about the appliances that you use. What are some tips that you would give to, a homeowner that's thinking of getting more climate smart appliances?
Well, the first and probably biggest step would be to become informed. Because from the time you go into certain retailer store, all you hear is this one is energy efficient, this is efficient.
Yeah.
So you don't really know for sure.
Yeah.
So it's always good to read labels and try to figure out what is actually written on it. We have cell phones with us. You can always look that up. But in particular, let's say you're looking for the water efficient devices, you can also look for different labels on them.
Okay.
So there's some that would say water sense, EPA standard. So it's giving you a level of efficiency.
And these are the ones that we should look out for.
Certainly.
Water sense and the second one that you said.
The EPA.
EPA efficient.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So EPA, it's a standard of rating basically from America.
Okay.
So that's their environmental policies for their different labels for their devices.
Okay.
So in Grenada, we don't really have those standards, so we adhere to those internationally or regionally.
Okay.
But what's more important is the actual numbers. So you have the flow rate per liter per minute, how many gallons a device might use.
Right.
Those individual numbers can actually help you. And if you're also looking for cooling devices, you can also look for those that use natural refrigerant. So these are some questions you can ask yourself and also the retailers, so they know what in particular you're looking for, so they can support you a bit better.
Yeah, and doing the research ahead is definitely important because then you're armed with the necessary information and you
Yeah.
don't get caught up in the buzzwords. Because when
Yeah,
you
for
come,
sure.
if you hear something, it's climate efficient or something like that, it's like, okay, all right, it's the right choice. But then you have to take into consideration the actual functionality of it and ensuring that it qualifies all of these various ratings.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to avoid that greenwashing or so forth.
The
Yeah.
greenwashing for
Yeah.
sure. And you kind of spoke a little bit, initially in terms of the myth associated with the high cost of making your home climate resilient. I know energy efficiency is a huge thing for people and, even solar power. And so there are a lot of people that's thinking of, should I invest in solar panels? Should I not? What's the cost is a little bit steep for, just the infrastructure that's needed for it. What would be your advice for people that's interested in getting off the grid per se?
So if you're interested in doing that, it's possible, very, very possible. So you can think of it this way. The money you would spend towards your electricity bill, you can spend that money to pay off the loan for the solar panel that you had. So let's say your bill is $300. That's $300 you now pay towards your loan. Once your loan is paid off, that solar panel, that solar system is yours. You keep saving, let's say $300 every month just from that. If there's a natural disaster, you don't have to worry. You have your own electricity. And when you partner that with your efficient devices within your home, whether it's LEDs or a climate smart refrigerator that uses a natural refrigerant, you use less of that energy that you are harvesting for free from the sun. So you're efficiently using what you have. So it's very much possible.
Yeah, yeah. And Gary, I mean, of course you would be pleased with that because
Of course,
you know.
that's why we are here to provide financing. But let me speak a little bit about the commercial side because
Yes.
we spoke about the homes. So people who are interested, business people who are interested in obtaining financing for a solar farm, we offer that as well. People who have buildings, commercial buildings, that may want to use solar panels to
To power the buildings.
power the buildings, we offer financing for those as well. So not just the homes, just about the homes, but also on a commercial side of it, we also take care of that as well. And we are always willing to provide assistance or support when the time comes for people who approach us.
So for our viewers that are interested in probably the commercial aspect of it and investing in that sort of infrastructure for their business, they just come into the bank and ask to speak to someone. Can they call? Is the process online or is it something that you can go into the bank to do?
Right. So the people who are interested in the residential homes, small loans, can go to our retail banking units. That's
Right.
we have five. We are at 5 locations throughout the island, and people who are interested in the more commercial types will attend to the business banking. That's where they will be attended to. Sorry.
Right.
The
And
business
then you
banking.
would be guided along the process of what
That's
you need
right.
to do to,
That's right.
to qualify.
And I said earlier that there is really no cap on the amount of funds that that is available. Once a person qualifies, we are willing to accommodate and
That's
provide
what I
financing.
like to hear, the no cap parts, for sure. You invest more, you save more, and at the end of the day, we take care of this beautiful, planet in this beautiful environment that we are all blessed to be a part of. So I definitely want to thank and just commend the both of you for sharing this wealth of information, taking your time, today to come and ensure that you share with our conversations with Co-op Bank viewers so that we get a little insight from jump in terms of when you own a piece of Grenada and you're investing, in developing that property, building your dream home, or even developing your business, how you can do so that it will be sustainable and climate smart and climate savvy. And there's been a wealth of information. I know for this episode and the previous one, as I said, I'm going to be rewatching and making notes. And I definitely think that you will as well. But one of the favorite features here at Conversations with Co-op Bank, cannot let you go without doing our rapid fire this or that. And again, it's based on your professional opinion, or it's also based on what your preference would be if you were in this situation. So it doesn't necessitate a long explanation. However, if you feel like one requires a little insight, feel free to do so. So I will ask Gary first, and then I will ask you the same. Right. So for your home, solar panels or solar water heaters?
Solar panels.
Solar panels.
Solar panels.
No, I want to ask why. Why solar panels?
Well, for me personally, I would say that it's getting hotter.
Yes.
At night, you may not need that solar water heater as much, but you will need your own independent electricity. So to me, it makes more sense to invest in that rather than the water heater.
Makes sense. That's your thought?
Yes, of course, the cost savings.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Concrete roof or galvanized roof with hurricane straps?
It's a little bit tricky, but if you're building, I would say concrete roofs. If you're retrofitting, then definitely the hurricane straps.
Concrete roof with solar panels. I'll put in air condition.
All right. I get a visual already, Gary. Green loan or traditional loan?
Green loan.
Green loan for sure.
Green loan for sure.
Green all around. Energy efficient appliances or standard models?
Energy efficient for sure.
Energy efficient.
I could have guessed. Online application or in-branch consultation?
Well, a hybrid.
Hybrid.
Yeah.
Best of both worlds.
Yes. Because there are some customers who may need to come in to have a discussion
Yeah.
to understand the process and that's what they need to do. And there are others again who understand the process, may just do it online.
Right, right. And this was more of a bank-centered question. But
Yeah.
I mean, what's your preference for doing things online or having the conversation if it needs to?
I would say conversations in person. It's always better to have that face-to-face interaction.
Yeah. Well, here at Conversations with Co-op Bank, we love having the face-to-face conversations for sure. Thank you both once again for giving up your time and expertise. Thank you all of our audience for joining us for another episode of Conversations with Co-op Bank. This was definitely a thought-provoking episode. I know quite a few of you may have some questions, and if you have any feedback, feel free to reach out to us via feedback@grenadacoopbank.com, and stay tuned for another episode in this particular series where we help you to own a piece of Grenada, not just for now, but to pass on to future generations right here on Conversations with Co-op Bank.